When we talk about graphic design, I'm serious about it, and I love it, and I talk about it in no uncertain terms.
Even though I know that style can make a career, but that's not even remotely exciting to me.
I'm not just a dilettante who does this thing on the weekends. I put it in the work all the time. That's it has to be there. It's not like I do flush left Helvetica during the day and I paint on the weekends. That doesn't interest me. That's not being true.
There's fine lines between commercial art and art. I don't really think about the two that separately. I kind of try to put the same energy into both.
Thank you for coming tonight. Young Guns Live is presented by Adobe. DIY means do it yourself and refers to the blurring of lines between creator and consumer by constructing a social network that ties users and makers closer together.
I worked for 3 or 4 years at different companies, like interactive companies and branding companies. I was not happy with design. I wasn't enjoying it because everything was people telling me what to do, and I wasn't interested in that. Basically my interest in DIY stems from music. The whole idea with that was that we would just do rock posters. It was all for silk screens for bands that we like. This is like the revivalist art form that was from the 60s. People appreciate the fact that they're handcrafted. Everyone's a little different. These are literally DIY. It's I'm hand pulling all of these prints. So they're all limited editions. We did some cool stuff. I did jobs for the Rapture and Vetiver, Langhorne Slim. The Brian Jonestown Massacre is my favorite band. These are the projects that have allowed me to step into commercial work that I want to work on.
My purpose here tonight is to talk about DIY, but to talk about how to do it for you guys to do it intelligently.
I was brought on the military base during Vietnam, so and one of the things you learn when you live in the military, besides great posture, is to question authority. There's the two James Victores. There's the one that's 8 foot tall and made out of paper mache and is with fangs, and then there's me. And I don't really like that reputation because I think it scares people off. I know I was the angry young man, and I'm going to be the angry old man, but they tend to confuse passion with anger or meanness or something.
This was the first poster that I had ever done, and I literally spent my rent money, got this thing professionally printed, professionally sniped.
It was for the 500th anniversary of the discovery of America. There was discussion in the papers and the news and stuff about all the parties and festivals that were going on, but nobody was talking about what I always call the pox-infested blankets. That one piece solidified my desire to keep making posters and keep making graphic design because I saw people. I was sitting and having lunch across the street from it when it was up near Columbus Circle, and I saw people stop, and turn their head sideways and read the little thing on the side. That was crazy. And then I saw the cops come and take it down. There are things with the country that I think are just way out of balance right now, and I'd love to be able to comment on it.
But how do you change the world when you're using your rent money? It's hard. So we have to get more people involved. We have to get smarter about this stuff. So now we're into this. We're into DIY with clients.
This is an example of a project that works in reverse. It's myself getting a client-based project, turning it into a self-initiated project, turning back into a client-based project. And it was fantastic. It was I was drawing animals of the safari. I drew a handful for the Banana Republic. Project was done, and I kept drawing more animals. I kind of started putting them together and do collages, and I started printing them on wood. And then I met these guys that run this store in Brooklyn called the Brooklyn Circus. I designed some t-shirts for them, for their company, using these drawings. A year later, Urban Outfitters asked me if they could print these drawings onto patio tables.
This is just the regular Design Within Reach, their annual book. that they do. So we've just gone through the whole catalog and changed, you know, every single page. This is a long couch that gets longer. We can't let cliches lie. We have to twist them somehow. We have to make, you know, give them new meaning. So we go through the, you know, the whole catalog. You know, here's Corbusier with a bird pooping on his shoulder. And, this kind of thing is fun for me to do, and also I think for students it kind of opens themselves up to accidents. I've found that I'm one of the few professors who actually gets them to think, you know, instead of just like making aesthetic choices all the time. I don't talk about type and color and things. I talk about our lives and how enriching they can be and how full they should be, and how much joy there can be in this business. You know, if you learn all the tools and all the skills, you'll have a job. But jobs don't love you. You know, if you learn how to think, you'll have a career, and careers can be awesome.
You know, I've been good about actually being like truly excited about the work that I'm doing. I'm not faking that with my clients. You know, it's like if there's someone that offers me a project that I have no interest in, I don't take it. I was offered a project to do like a relatively big job for a cigarette company, but they wanted really like youthful graphics. They wanted things that teenagers would love. They didn't want to say why they wanted these things, but I could tell. And it's like, I don't want to be part of that. How much of your integrity can you keep while doing commercial work?
So this is another line that we're working on right now. It's called American Badass, and it started because I needed a 9-foot surfboard, and they're all relatively ugly.
These are kind of a combination of things that I love. These are taken from Picasso works. You know, I've been showing them to shops, and I've been showing to people, and they're like, "Oh my God, these are awesome." So, you know, were you making them for a show, or are you making them to sell? And the answer is always the same. I say, I don't know. They weren't made for any specific market. They weren't made for. They were made because they were things that I like making. At this point in my career, we make less of a distinction about what would be a client-driven project and what would be something that we just self-author. We've started, you know, kind of getting rid of the middleman, getting the client out of the way, and going straight to, you know, real people, because we know that real people dig the stuff.
We're trying to get to a point in the studio where there's no difference between who we are and what we do for ourselves and what we do for clients. It all has gusto, it all has spirit, it all has cojones, it's all fun and interesting. It's all basically DIY.
This is my dream. This is what I want to be doing. As long as, you know, opportunities keep showing up, you know, I'm going to take them.
I love my work. I love doing it. I love the access to real human beings. And I want to make it, you know, as good as possible for me and for them.
Thank you.